All right, boys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give our season predictions for the Metro division right here, right now. Okay. So I'm obviously repping the Rangers. All of our favorite teams are in the Metro. I'm going Rangers. Johnny,
Metro booming.
Cup winners.
They have won the cup before. I am the we're slumming it over here.
Hopefully. For all our sakes. So
Tank for McKenna.
So let's go. Like, give me your number 8 for the Metro division, and we're gonna go. Wow, we're gonna go. It's crazy. We're gonna go. We're gonna go from number 8 up to number 1. Keep in mind this is a regular season prediction, so like try not to evaluate teams too much based off of like how well they're gonna do in the playoffs or like how well they did or didn't do in the playoffs. This is about the regular season. We're gonna try to like have a maybe like one hot take per team. You know what I'm saying? I wrote down a couple, but I got lazy.
Okay,
Jared,
I'll try. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll make them up. You actually did like wins and losses and like record for each team.
Yeah, I mean mostly just to have like a it's not like calculated at all. I just wanted to. There are certain teams that have like sub 70 points because I think they're going to be that bad. That was the reason I did that mostly, and to pick like a President's Trophy winner.
Okay, yes. So we'll all pick a President's Trophy winner. But you should say the record you have for teams, even though like John and I didn't do that. Okay. All right.
Did you want me to go first?
You go first. Give me. We'll all say our 8s and then we'll discuss. So you give me your number 8 for the Metro division.
Okay, so I have the Penguins absolutely sleeping in the basement. So I have them winning. They're going to end with 69 points. I have them with 30 wins, 43 losses, and 9 overtime. The Penguins, I think, are clearly just like the worst team, and I think they want to be the worst team. And as we get closer to the end of the season, I don't know about Crosby and Malkin and even Letang. They might want to be like eternal Penguins and not get traded. But guys like Raquel and maybe Rust, I think certainly Erik Karlsson, who is still very good. I think teams will want him, and even though his contract is massive, teams will try to trade for him, and so they'll try to get him off the books. So what I'm saying is like by April they're going to be an absolute graveyard.
You're calling a Penguins sell here.
Oh, big time.
I'll go. Oh, John, you go second. Who do you have 8th in?
Okay. 8th in the Metro, I have the Fishermen on the island. 8th overall.
Let's go.
I think the Island. What did you say, bro?
No, go.
So I think they're going to be the worst team because Sorokin, I am predicting, will have an amazing year for the Islanders. But Anders Lee is a year older. Pollock and Pellick, powerful P's, will be a year older. Barzell will convert again. And Horvat will 32 goals. And that will be enough for them to have some overtime losses. The Islanders, with their shoe-in post Big Lou era, will be 8th overall. The Penguins, they could be 8th overall. I don't think they will because Crosby's going to try too hard, and they're not going to trade him at the deadline. And they will trade Erik Karlsson to the Detroit Red Wings. He screams Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah.
And Ricky will get traded as well from the Penguins. But I don't think any of the big boys will want to be traded, and they'll be too good, and they'll finish 7th. I'm jumping ahead in my prediction to piggy off Jared. They'll be 7th overall.
I agree that none of the big boys are going to be traded, but I think Malcolm and Letang are complete ass. I think they're horrible.
I don't know. Malcolm,
Maybe not
the
horrible.
Rangers.
Well,
Who did?
Brazeau was looking really good against the Rangers.
Turned to Marion Hossa for one game.
Listen, I have the Islanders 8th as well. And just to get my Penguins pick, I have the Penguins 6th. And the reason why I have the Islanders 8th, I think the Islanders are like, this team is going to be a wasteland by the deadline. I think the Islanders know actually what they're doing, and they're going to sell everybody. And I think maybe not like Sorokin and maybe not Barzal and Horvat, but everyone else is gone. And I think my prediction for them is that they're going to continue to fleece everybody. I think that all teams are going to keep overpaying for like JG Pageau and like all of these sort of like middle Palmieri's because they like kept making the playoffs with like low key a mid team. And so these players are like seen as like so valuable and so two-way and like Trotzy that people are going to see that and be like, oh, this is like the best.
The winner.
This is
get that locker room presence. Get that locker.
This is a winner.
Veteran presence in the locker room. He has character. He loves the game.
He's a locker room.
He's
guy.
Been around a while.
He knows how to go on a run. You know, he's like, and then like standing.
Just a bunch of non-traits.
Yeah, like the point, like people will start talking about their ability on the ice like 5 minutes into like discussing it.
Right. And he can also shoot the puck.
And he's got a decent backhand. And they're gonna give up like first round picks and like genuine like B tier prospects for these guys. I'm so positive. So I think the Islanders
problem is Palmieri got signed to that extension.
And that's even better because now with the cap going up, it's actually a pretty good deal. They're gonna sell him.
Even for the multiple years.
I think Darsh is actually like on it, and I think they're all in. And the reason why I have the Penguins at 6th, Crosby's such a freak. He's like, give me 87, 8.7 million all the time. He's just like, he's not going to get traded.
87 points.
Yeah, I think he's going to get 87 points, and I think that I don't think that Dubas is going to sell as hard as they ought to. I think that they're actually going to wait and see until like January or February to see if they're actually that bad. I genuinely think they're like, let's see if we're the worst team. I don't think they already know that. So because of that, I think they're going to win too much before the new year. And they are undefeated against teams that are have higher on this ranking. So I feel like we have like honestly a bottom 3 in this division. So like I have the Penguins at 6th. Jared, who is your 7th? Is the 7th your very own Islanders?
My 7th are the Islanders, and I think I have them like 5 points ahead of the Penguins. So it's a tight race. I don't blame overtime losses. They got 12. They got 12. They got 12. I don't blame you guys at all for having the Islanders last because I agree. Because the Islanders are already, I think, a worse team on paper than the Penguins. And say again, I'm sorry.
Due to one singular old center iceman on the Penguins.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the Islanders. I agree with you, Chris. I think the Islanders are also gonna hard sell, but the Islanders guys, their Darsh set up the offseason so that their selling will be as easy as possible. He has signed guys like Drouin to like pretty fine contracts. D'Angelo is a 1-year contract. Palmieri's like 2 years, $4.5 million. Pelech is not as good as he was, obviously, in those 2020 Cup runs, but he like still has defensive value. Pulock is just a ball and chain where he's not leaving. But Pelech actually has defensive value still, so I think some team will overpay for that. They'll give up a first-round pick because this guy has he's on a pretty good contract. It's like sub $6 million, and he's been there before. So I agree with all your takes, but I do think I think the Penguins will. I think the Penguins outside of Crosby are truly, truly awful, to be honest. And I guess Carlson's also good.
Yeah, yeah. I think that Malkin will get traded. I think that's my take for the Penguins. I think Malkin's a Panther.
That would be so on theme, I think.
But so
Okay.
I have obviously I my 7 is Philadelphia because my
Mhm.
Pittsburgh is 6. I think Philly, it's just going to be a disaster. I think Mitchkov's going to be good. I assume you guys have Philly at 6, both of you, unless you're making a
I
bold
do.
claim.
No, I have Philly at 6.
John, you have Philadelphia. Are you making these up on the spot?
John?
So you're gonna where are you gonna put the Flyers? Well, who's your number 6? I guess because you're making this up off the dome.
Right. Well, I have like a framework that I thought about at work, but I wasn't able to actually put it down. So it would be Penguins, it would be Islanders, Penguins, and then the Flyers, obviously above the Penguins. Mishkov will have 61 points. He'll float them a little bit, but they have Rick Tocchet, I believe, as their new head coach. He's going to be
Mhm.
absolutely terrible. Torch 2.0. Philly will continue to not have a goaltender. The cycle will continue. And they don't really have anyone good to sell if they even are thinking about selling, if you think about it, right? They picked up Zegras, which is great, but Tocchet's going to bench him in the first 13 minutes of every game. Drysdale's going to continue to not improve and get traded to Buffalo for Bowen Byram. They're going to do us a little bit of a swap there. Then, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, Konechny's great, and he'll be on the Olympic team. I think for Canada, they seem to love him. But we'll see. I think they're going to be above Pittsburgh, but below the next team.
Wow, you really think Drysdale's like done? You think there's no
He's
upside?
fried on that team. He's done.
That's pretty dark. That's a pretty dark Flyers future. I don't even
It's
have
Rick
them.
Tocchet. What do you want, dude?
I feel like Tocchet's a little bit more. I don't know. He's very tortsy, but I feel like they'll do a little bit. Like I think their vibes will be a little better. But I do think Zegras is gonna have some struggles. I think him and Michkov are gonna keep doing Michigans and getting
To get caved in on the other end.
yeah, yeah. And low key, like they have a lot more tanking to do. Michkov and Mortone are their only significant pieces for the future. Like
Mhm.
Luchenko, they have like mid tier stuff, but the only build arounds they have are those two guys. They're nowhere near being ready to start like trying to win any sort of hockey in any way.
And who are their goalies? Because that big Russian goalie that was doing military service for 14 years, they dumped him onto the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I think
So
that
who's even going to play net?
is that Fedotov. I think that they dumped. I think Erson.
Yeah,
Erson is their starting goalie, I believe.
They have Erson and they have Dan Vladar.
Oh, they signed Vladar. Yes. Okay. All right. So this, I think that bottom 3 is like a very safe bottom 3 there.
right.
Yeah. Not very revolutionary.
This is where things get a little more interesting because I think there are 5 teams trying to make the playoffs. Jared, who do you have in 5th, and why?
I have the Blue Jackets. I have the Blue Jackets in 5th.
Yeah.
This could easily be swapped by I think my boldest, is that right? My boldest take for the Metro, which we'll get to in some time. I think the Blue Jackets could make it if the team that I have making it doesn't do nearly what I kind of expect them, not expect, but what I think they'll do. I have them missing the playoffs. Not by much. I think just like a couple of points, but I'm just not like I don't know. I don't think the Blue Jackets. It's hard to say because I don't think the Blue Jackets are a bad team. but have they figured out their goaltending situation? Like, are they running back Merzlikins
Well, they
again?
have what's that guy, Jet
Yeah.
Greaves. Jet Greaves is like their rookie guy. He like did pretty well at the end of last year. Kind of a Devon Levi type of situation.
And they drafted Ravensburgen, I believe.
Oh, they did. Did they?
And I think
No, that was the
so.
Sharks, I'm pretty sure, right?
I
Was it the
think it was
Sharks?
the
Okay.
Sharks. Yeah.
They took a goaltender, I believe, though.
Right.
They still don't have the goaltending figured out. I wouldn't be surprised if I like the Blue Jackets. I just think there are too many good teams ahead of them that push them out, personally, both in the Metro and in the Atlantic. Um, I could see Fantilli throwing up 70 points this year, though.
Totally. I see a
I'm
few
I'm a
30-point
Fantilli
scores.
believer.
Oh, he's hot.
I
Yeah.
think Fantilli could hit 40 this year. I wouldn't surprise me since they're going to run him out
40 would be crazy from Fantilli.
with the ice time, dude. Who else are they going to play with him?
Well, the thing is,
Marchenko, I
well,
guess.
with him, Marchenko, but do we? I know their coach has like done a decent job last year, but do we trust them to not put Sean Monahan as 1C and to not put Charlie Coyle like above Fantilli sometimes? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. They made that awful trade in the offseason with Colorado.
Yeah. So
They
like,
got Coyle and somebody else for Gavin Brindley.
and like, what's going on with like Chinikov? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he not like a regular in their lineup? He was so good.
Yeah.
Like, I just think, and Cole Sillinger, like, he's been young for so long. Is he gonna do something here, or is he gonna get back with Tate McRae? Like, we just don't
Right,
really
right.
know. I love Fantilli. I also have the Blue Jackets in 5th, by the way. And
Okay.
I
Do you
think
have them
As do
also
I.
missing the playoffs?
I do have them missing
Okay.
the playoffs. Yeah.
Do you think will be within a standard deviation of like 4 points or so? I think the most interesting thing about Cole Sillinger is that his number is what, 3 as a forward? Like, who even does that anymore? That's such a defenseman number.
Yeah,
4.
single digit numbers.
That's such a defenseman number, and he's a forward, not even a top 6 forward at this point in his career. So, to have that number choice is very bold, I believe, for Cole.
Yeah, the single digit number is very rare for a forward. Charlie Coyle is 3, so they got two low digit guys.
Yeah, wow.
Is
Wow,
is the
interesting.
Columbus? Is that your number 5, John? Or you, I know you got to think about
Yes.
it. Okay.
Nope. Columbus is my number 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty cut and dry, like one of those like young teams trying to push in. There's a ton of those in the Atlantic that we'll get to in our
Yeah.
Atlantic preview. This is
Mhm.
okay. Number 4. I'll start us off this time with my number 4. I have, because I'm a Rangers fan. It's going to look a certain way. I have the Devils in 4th. I think the Devils will make the playoffs. I think the Devils will have a good season, and I think Hughes will stay healthy. Okay.
Okay. That's asking for a lot so far.
Yes, and Hughes very well might not stay healthy. And I'm speaking of Jack, obviously. But I just hope so
Mhm.
much for him to be healthy. I think he will have his 100-point year. However, I think people are saying that's the reason why they haven't been doing that well. And it hurts, obviously, but I don't think that's the reason why the Devils are not as good as people say. I think they have really good defense, and Markstrom is like good. He's fine. But I actually think their forward core is a little overrated. Like Bratt and Hughes are awesome. Heishier is one of my favorite like players. But honestly, you look at the rest of their top 9, it's a lot of like Dodonov on the first line. Like, is that really like an elite team's first line? Timo Meyer has really struggled. You know, he's a very solid player, but he hasn't really been like the Sharks Timo Meyer. So I look at that and I'm like, I don't really know. And then it's like Dawson Mercer has had a lot of ups and downs. Promising, but like you kind of look at Hughes, Bratt, and Heishier, and then you see other top 6 forwards, and you think they're just elite. But I don't think they're just elite. Andre Palat is like total butt at this point. And while I like the Connor Brown pickup, I think they have a really good forward group. I just don't think it's like actually that groundbreaking. And if they were that good at forward, then Jack Hughes getting injured wouldn't like destroy them. I know they made the playoffs, right? They made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
He did.
I,
He
I
got eviscerated by Carolina.
and I wouldn't expect them to win, especially not without Jack Hughes. I just think like the way their morale and their psychology just breaks down without Hughes. It's like you believe if your team is like that hot, like believe in it when your best player is down. Like I know it's different. It's a different team, but like when Draisaitl won the Hart, McDavid was injured for so much of that season, and Draisaitl was like, I don't care, like I'm Draisaitl, and he won the Hart. Now, obviously, I think Brat did a good job of that. I'm really walking myself back because I'm like, I'm not trying to make this a Rangers Devils thing because the Rangers obviously have their own issues. But personally, I think the Devils are gonna be in fourth and they're gonna make the playoffs. But I don't think they need to be that good yet. I think they are still young. They have a really long window. So that's my four. John, who's your four?
Okay.
I think we're going to get some deviation here. My number 4 is the New York Rangers. I didn't really like a lot of the moves they've made over the past 10
Gavrikov.
months.
Gavrikov was hot. We dropped Keandre Miller. We pick up Gavrikov.
Right. In a vacuum, I like that play, but in the orbit of everything else, I'm not a fan.
You don't like Susie on the second
Because
pair?
terrible. Not a top 4 defenseman, by the way.
You don't like Will Borgen?
Also, not a top 4 defenseman.
Come on.
The Rangers,
Will Borgen's okay.
he's not. I'm not saying he's bad, but on defense, the Rangers have a lot of guys playing above the role that they should be in. And you're banking on a big improvement from Schneider to carry bottom 4 defensemen. I'm not sure if he's ready for that yet. I think Fox and Gavrikov is going to be a really nice pairing that will pay dividends. They will have a little trouble with speed, just based on the fact neither of them are barn burners. But as it may, I think the Rangers will be fourth in the division. And they will make the second wild card spot, so they will be in the playoffs.
Okay. Jared, do you go with Jersey? Do you go with
My
or do you have a different?
my pick is different from both of yours. I have the Capitals in fourth, actually.
Wow.
I have the Capitals in fourth. It's a very tight spread between the Capitals and then the teams in 3 and 2. I have the Capitals in the wild card. They're the first wild card. There's like a 5-point spread between the Capitals and the second place team. I have a very, very tight Metro this year. I mean, most years it is, but I say that to say I don't think that the Capitals will be like. I'm not predicting like a major regression for the Capitals. I do think they'll make the playoffs again. They might even be better in the playoffs because they'll have like a more developed Ryan Leonard on their team. But I just think, to your point, Chris, about the Devils, you're naming all these forwards, and you're like, I don't think their top 6 is elite, or is you think it's overrated, and I'm like, you went name after name after name that are like that guy is elite. So
Wait.
I understand the Timo Meyer hate because he has been like street trash
What about Dodonov
pretty
and
much since.
Mercer?
Yeah, Dodonov's not. He's definitely a clown among Marines, but
That's half their top
I
six.
think Mercer. I think Mercer's okay.
Not elite. He's okay. Yeah, he's okay.
He's a top 6. He's a top 6 forward.
Yeah.
And he's playing like when you play with guy like who is he on the he's on the second line,
We're on the
right?
second line with Heischer and Meyer.
I think that's totally fine.
It's
I think
fine. Exactly.
the problem, but I don't mean it's fine like it's passable. I mean I think that's fine like that's good. Like that's a good. Yeah, they have a good forward group.
You're winning a cup with half your top six.
No,
being
no, they're not winning the cup. They're not winning the cup. I think they're losing in the first round. I think low key, but I still think they're a good team. Like as far as regular season goes, I still think they clear the regular season like they have in the past. Like the Devils I think have been silently been very successful in the regular season, like a really strong team. They just kind of get owned in the playoffs most of the time.
Yeah, except when they play
Is
the
the thing.
Rangers.
Except when they play the Rangers.
Yeah, fair.
But we'll
We'll see.
talk about that.
I'm
We'll talk about that in a minute.
I think that
But I do just
Go.
to finish off my
Go.
point, like the Capitals, I don't think the Capitals are bad. If anything, well, we'll get to who I guess they'll play because they'll be the first wild card. But I do think the Capitals are a good team. I just think that the two teams ahead of them are just like on that same tier, and the Capitals are still young, so it's no shade. I like a lot of the moves the Capitals, the Ferravari signing. Even though I'm partial to him because he's a former Islander, Anthony Beauvillier can be a dog, and then he can be a cat.
Playoff performer.
He's a playoff animal. It's crazy. And I believe in Logan Thompson. I think he's a good goaltender.
Yeah, I think this is the year that Thompson solidifies himself as an elite goalie in the NHL after only having 6 regular season losses.
Good take.
You know, I think this is the year that he cements himself, and Team Canada can no longer ignore him and be butthurt about how he was mean to Aiden Hill allegedly in Vegas, and all the Vegas execs that work for Team Canada cannot keep this hate train going anymore. So with that being said, I still firmly believe in the Rangers being number 4, considering that their core is quickly approaching scary age, and that insane prospect pool they had 3.5 years ago literally does not exist anymore. It's actually gone. It's been eviscerated, and Lafreniere, excuse me, the only one left of that group, to be honest, and he looks like a rookie still 4 years in. So I don't have a lot of confidence. I think the Rangers have not set him up for success. I think as long as Panarin runs that team, he will not be successful. So the Rangers will make the playoffs because they have the core ingredients to be a cup contender. The rest of the recipe is just not there. So they will be the last wild card spot.
First of all, I don't know why Panarin had to catch a stray. I mean, like, the management and the prospects, it's terrible. Not a single forward prospect has really gone well on that team at any point. I mean, Cooley, but he's like recent, and Hedl was pretty good, but the head injuries, and obviously he's gone. But Panarin is literally blameless. He had this is my Panarin thing. He has one bad playoffs. People say he's not a playoff guy. Yeah. He's only been bad against the Devils. He literally has been a point per game in every other playoff run, and he just detracts pressure away from his line mates because everyone focuses him so hard because he's so good. Okay? And
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that
people act like I watch all these videos and they're like, Panarin really fell off last year. Guy had 89 points. This is his worst season he's ever had as a Ranger. Do you know how good you have to be for 89 points to be like, wow, he's really falling off? Like that, it was like agree, and I agree. He was like, I saw him, I was like, this guy sucks. We're talking about a 120-point player, right? And we're talking about a guy who's on pace for that total during the COVID years. People act like, oh, this was his first 100-point year. He finally like realized himself. He's been doing this for a while. And his 2 worst years as a Ranger are 92 points and 89 points. And I just can't, I won't stand.
So my stray isn't really about Panarin's performance. It's just that the fact that Panarin is the premier left winger, no one is getting his opportunities and ice time. Lafreniere comes in as this top prospect who's a left winger, and he's supposed to be this generational player. Rangers chose as a contending team to not give Lafreniere those opportunities, which is fair, reasonable, But the reason why he hasn't popped off is because he is blocked by one of the best left wingers in the game.
Okay, I
And
like the
that's not a
respect.
good thing or a bad thing, but that's fact. He's just not as good on right wing. It's just the truth.
Yeah, they should put him on PP1, but I'm let's the Rangers will come up again. Um, I got a little hot under the collar there. I hear you
Scared.
on the Caps, Jer. I think that the Capitals are really good. I'm actually pretty high on them. Trying to weather the storm. This is so much better, by the way.
Okay, good. It was like this is gonna be awful to look at the entire time.
While we're
All
on
right,
the
so that was my 4, and I was the last to go. So,
yeah, so
Chris, your 3.
I'm gonna do my 3. I'm just because we've been talking to them to death. Rangers, pain and suffering and like moments of joy is this team. I'll be quick. My prediction for the Rangers this season is that Rempe becomes a legitimate fourth line hockey player. I think that Rempe is I think he is going to have 8 or more goals this year, and I think he's going to dance with 15 plus points. I think he's net front, power play 2, starting the year on power play
That's
2.
crazy.
Yep. And he beat out guys. Like, you could argue he's the worst forward on the Rangers. And he made power play 2, and I just think that by the end of the year, it won't be like
Is that like, wow, Rempe, that's impressive, or is that like the Rangers are trash?
well, our bottom
Matt
6 is
Rempe's on
really
their
bad.
second power play.
It's bad, but we have guys we could put over him. Connor Sheary, the nepotism pickup.
Connor Sheary, you could argue, is a worse player than Rempe right now.
And I will argue that. I think that
Probably.
I think that Rempe.
Ex-Capital Connor Sheary, by the way.
I believe in the Rempe thing now. I actually didn't when it first was happening. I thought it was lame, but now that the Rangers have nothing else, I'm going with Rempe because I don't trust the top 6 to score. I don't trust the defense to defend. Shesterkin is just clearly not enough. We've been doing the elite goalie thing for 20 years. We've been doing the elite goalie thing for 20 years. It is not working. It's not a cup-winning method. I think Rempe is a cup-winning method. John, who's your number 3?
My number 3 for the Metro is the Devils. I think they get in. They have a bounce back year. I don't think there are any sky is falling injuries for Heischer, Hughes, and Hamilton all at the same time. So I think Markstrom doesn't need to be amazing. He just needs to be serviceable, and the Devils will be okay. I think they will also beat up on bad teams in the NHL. Like they might struggle against top competition based on depth. If they play teams like San Jose and Pittsburgh and Buffalo, they will cut through them like a buzzsaw with their speed and like somewhat of a decent goaltender. I think that contract they signed Luke Hughes to is interesting. It shows the new state of the cap era, 8x9 or something. But I don't think he's proven anything close to that number. So technically, that could backfire in a very hilarious way. We'll see. So I have them as my number 3. They have a bounce back year, and I think they have a really good regular season. Let's just put it that way.
Fair.
Oh, and Simone Nemec gets traded at the deadline as well.
Yeah, what are they doing? What are they doing?
A waste.
I mean, they have too many good defensemen. But Jared, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is also the Devils. Excuse me, I'm sorry, it's the Rangers.
Oh, okay. So you and I have the Rangers at 3.
I completely botched that. Yeah. I have Rangers at 3. Did you go already? You have the Rangers at 3 as well?
At 3, yeah.
Okay.
Rempe.
Yeah.
Because you're 4 with the Devils, right?
Yeah, so I'm in the wheelhouse. I'm not hating. I just
So me and you, we flipped the Rangers and the Devils in.
yeah, and Jared's with me on the Rangers. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I think maybe contrary to popular sentiment, I think some Rangers are going to have bounce back years. If you look at the Rangers roster, you said this the other night, Chris. You're like, on paper, the Rangers are still a really good team if everything's going right. I know this is asking quite a bit, but if Zibanejad can be like 70% of what he was for those 2 seasons, like that, you have two really like insane forwards. To be honest, um, I didn't really watch. Was JT Miller all that good after you guys traded for him?
He was good. He was like about a point per game. He was kind of doing
Newly captain JT Miller.
Yeah,
That'll give a morale boost.
yeah.
Eric, that whole thing is so funny to me because they developed JT Miller, traded him right before his prime years. Prime years happen, and then they trade for him right after his prime years are
This
ending.
may still be his prime, but I don't know.
I think he's still good. I think the Rangers will have a good year. Gavrikov, I like a lot. That was a good signing. Um, Fox may not be all that in international play, but in NHL play, he's still a Norris candidate. I think most years. And then Igor Shesterkin is just like probably the best goalie in the league. So it's like it's you can't lose with that. I mean, you can in the playoffs,
You
probably to
cannot
the Devils,
lose.
but
You can't.
you can make the playoffs with that type of team. So I think they will. I think they'll be third.
All right, Johnny, take us to number 2.
Number 2 is my very own Washington Capitals. You guys probably knew this was coming. I don't think they will have that crazy goalbender they had in the first half of last season that propelled them to the division win. I think it's unlikely they repeat that. But I think with LT continuing to be elite and a lot of the younger guys continuing to play at a solid level, maybe not taking another step, but maintaining the step that they took, it's very reasonable for them to be number 2. I think Ovechkin is about the same points and goals wise, another year older, but he also won't break his leg, so he won't need to rehab from that, which will help him out a lot. And I think they're going to reduce his ice time a lot as well. So he'll be fresher for the playoffs because he just does not have the stamina anymore. I think we have a breakout year from Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think maybe some guys don't hit the highs they had last year, but I think PLD gets Selkie votes and scores almost 80 points. He takes over as the first line center for the Capitals. He took insanely hard matchups last year. He was taking so many defensive draws, and he was playing against McDavid and Matthews. He was glued to them and actually had incredible results. And I think he takes that momentum into this year, gets a little more comfortable in the offensive zone, and they will put him with Ryan Leonard, and they will tear it up. And Ryan Leonard will score 45 points in his rookie year. Minimum.
How old is Pierre-Luc Dubois?
26.
Okay.
27-ish, something like
Whatever
that.
Matthews is, right?
Right.
Same
2016.
Um,
Fair points, I think.
totally
Fair points.
PLD's majorly underrated in my opinion. I think PLD's
I think so too.
So good.
And I love how so many fan bases hate him, like religiously. Like if he even like fumbles the puck in the neutral zone, there's at least 3 fan bases that will actively boo him in that arena. Which I think is just how many players can you say that about, to be honest. So I think he's gonna have a big impact. I think Faravari will show the world about why the Capitals blew out against Carolina. I think he will be we'll see how good he is, and he'll get more ice time. I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets power play time too, with some of our older guys maybe not playing as much.
Right, like John Carlson, who's really, I mean, he's put in a good role with Carberry, but he's really not, a top defenseman. He's okay, sort of a specialist.
Well, he gets exposed with speed, but his advanced stats are very good.
Yeah,
he still has good metrics,
they
but
put him in a good role. Carberry's a great coach.
He's a very matchup-centric player now when he used to be an all. So there's certain teams he will look like a PB player with. There's also certain teams where he looks like the best defenseman ever. It really just depends on the roster he's up against.
Total second pair guy, very situational, not a problem.
Totally not.
Never
But
was elite, by the way, but that's a story for another day.
multiple 60-point scorer in the Dead Punk era 2.0.
Yeah, Tyson Barry was too, buddy. Jared, number 2.
My number 2 is the Devils.
That's high, man.
They are. I think they're just the Hurricanes light, and that's pretty good because the Hurricanes are very, very good. So, a lot of the points you made, Chris, about the Devils, they have very good defense. I think Markstrom's a good goalie. Um, and my little, defensive tirade about their forward core. I think their forward group is still really good. Um, despite Dad and Mercer, I think Mercer's good though. So I just think the Devils have such a great team. I do think Nimesh will be traded though. I think he'll be traded. I couldn't tell you to who or for what, but I think he'll want out so badly that he'll stop putting forth effort, and then Devils Twitter will be like, this bum doesn't want to be here. And it'll be one of those things. It'll be one of those like the fans blow up. Not that the management makes decisions based on the fan base exactly, but it'll be one of those timelines. You know what I mean?
100%.
But I really think the Devils are quite a very good team, and I think if they were to replay the Hurricanes from last year, they probably still lose. But I think that series probably goes 7 if they have Jack Hughes. I think Hamilton was out too. No,
I
Was
believe
out.
they
so.
had two. So I think
Siegenthaler was out pretty sure as well.
okay. Yeah, I think the
Nemec
Devils are
goes to the
really good.
Blackhawks. I think they trade Nemec for like Bertuzzi or something.
Could be. Could be.
Perhaps.
I think everyone should be in on Simon Nemec. I think he's awesome, and I think he's
Yeah.
legitimately really good. I don't think this is a David Jiricek thing where he's like maybe not the player we thought he was. Nemec has shown
Mhm.
nothing for us to think that he's not actually going to be a top pair guy. Fair. I think if I get burned on any of my takes, it's the Devils take. The Devils are going to be healthy and they're really good, and they've shown that they can contend for number 1 in that division. So
Mhm.
totally fair. I was feeling the blue, I was feeling the blue when I put them at 4th, and I was also feeling the red. And so my number 2 is the Washington Capitals. I think the Washington Capitals are
Okay.
everyone's prime pick for regression to the mean. However, I think the Caps aren't going to regress in the same sort of way. Because right now, like I was looking on Daily Faceoff at all the rosters to make my lists, and like I was telling you about this, Jared. Every team has like a second liner who's like, who is that? Like, no,
Mhm.
gone are the ages for the most part of like a top 9 of like, these are all insane guys. There are like maybe 3 teams who have that. And like most teams have like 2 elite forwards, a couple good guys, and then like, I don't even know who you are and like why you're here and where you came from. So when I look at the Capitals, every single spot on their team is filled by a player that I know what they do, and I know that they do it well. And I think the Capitals are actually very rare in that. I think they're one of the
Yeah.
teams where all 4 lines, all 3 pairs, and both goalies are like trustworthy, going to give you a good performance. Whereas like a lot of these other teams, even contending teams like Toronto, it's like, is Max Domi going to work on the first line, or Michelli? It's like all these question marks. And Toronto, I mean, I won't spoil it, but I have them very high in the Atlantic. Um, and any team, pick any team, and it's like, what is going on? Like, why is there this weird thing? The Capitals, basically, it's like, just run the lines, Are
Mhm.
any of their guys game breaking elite? No. That's why they will not win a playoff series this year, or until Leonard can become a game breaking elite player, which I think is possible, or until Cole Hudson makes the team. But until that time, they don't have any elite talent on their roster, so they will just be really good, very Carolina-esque. I think Devils are Carolina. I think the Capitals, they don't play like them, but I think the Capitals are kind of like Carolina, where they're very solid. They're going to be hard to beat on defense. They got great defense. Probably Them and the Devils, top 2 defense in the Metro. And yeah, I think Thompson elite year. I think that's totally fair. I think Vezina votes probably. And I think the Capitals are not going to regress that much. Ovechkin is falling down randomly already into the season. I just want to say that. I don't think he's bad, but he's looking really old. Like he forgets he's like on the rink sometimes type old. Like,
well, I think we just have to understand that his training camp is the first 10 games of the year.
Maybe. But did you see that one draw in the offensive zone where they pulled it back and he's just like for like 15 seconds. Like they do the draw and he's just waiting on the wall with his stick out, not like even looking at anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like dude, we're like this is the game.
Still scores 41 this year.
Maybe, but like come on, his impact on the actual like game is like so low until the puck touches his stick. You know what I'm saying? Like no shade though. Best goal scorer ever. John.
Jared's like Mike Bossy.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
John, it's secrets out. We all have the Carolina Hurricanes as our number 1 team. But
Yes.
John, you go ahead and explain why the Hurricanes are your number 1 team in the Metro.
I think the Hurricanes are probably one of the worst teams to watch on TV. They have a
1,000%.
horrible,
1,000%.
nice product for entertainment. Even worse than the 2016 Islanders and the 2017 Islanders. I think they're even worse to watch than that.
At least the Islanders
will get
names, like Clutterbuck.
Right. Right. And, it was kind of funny just seeing Trotz there, right? Rod the Bod is just aggravating, and his ability to get mad at every penalty against Carolina is crazy. And they somehow reverse penalties for him. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. They literally reverse penalties for him when they don't do it for any other team.
Yeah.
Only coach. They didn't even do it for the Penguins. They don't even do it for Crosby. They only do it for Rod. So I think that they will win first by a lot. They will be like 10 points ahead of the Capitals. And I think the Eelhurst addition will be great for Carolina, but it won't be great for Eelhurst because you still won't use him correctly, even though he'll have like 55 points. But he's still not going to get the ice time and the impacts and the power play time that he deserves. And their choking style will not go with Eelhurst's free-flowing, like super barn burning, high impact style, but that grind you to death is just not him. He's a smart enough player to fit in and be successful in his own way. Because he's always done that. Even when he's on the 4th line, he's still playing great. It's just a shame that he's not on a team that will appreciate him as much. And Eelhurst is now on my cap list because he literally was down to identical offers with the Caps in Carolina, and he said he wanted to live in Raleigh. Actually, I think he took less money to go to Carolina. Who wants to live in Raleigh?
Why do you?
Nobody.
What do you? What do you think about that? You live near Raleigh, don't you?
Exactly. Raleigh's not that great. Okay, Charlotte is so much of a nicer city. It's not even funny. Raleigh's Business Park Central. Okay. Anyway, Ehlers is now an enemy of the Capitals officially, spurning us in the offseason. But I think long term it actually benefits us in terms of just having spots and money open for our young studs on the way. But I do think Carolina has a really good team. And yeah, so they will be number 1.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Ehlers, I think, is an 80-point guy if you let him cook.
I agree.
Jared, anything?
Yes, I'll go second. Yeah, obviously the Hurricanes win. I have the Hurricanes actually as my president's winners. Yeah, John, they are the Hurricanes. I think are less entertaining than like a PowerPoint presentation watching them play. but they win. They're going to win like 54 games this year. Um, and Ehlers, I do think will get. I think he'll get enough time. He's going to be on the first line with Off. He's going to be on the first power play unit. Not that that won't change, but he's going to start that way at least. But I agree. I agree with you, Chris. I have really nothing else to add about the Hurricanes. They're just like a built team. The only thing maybe is that for their sake, they need Anderson to stay healthy. I don't trust Kochetkov in the playoffs. I am like a big fan of Frederick Anderson. I think he's really good, even though he's getting older. So I think if he can stay healthy and he's their guy come playoff time, it might actually be their year, even though I don't have them winning the cup. But I think they'll be close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this era of Carolina hockey will win a Stanley Cup. I'm calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
The Brind'Amour, Aho current build of the Carolina Hurricanes will not win a Stanley Cup in this era. They're just
Not the
not
meta.
built for it. They can't do it. There are too many other teams with real juice. Maybe Aho is actually a 100-point guy in a different system, but I'm looking at this lineup and I'm obviously they're going to win, right? They're a really good team. The presidential pick is fair. They're like probably going to get second place for me. I love Stankoven, the pickup, like so far. Their top six is so lit. Svechnikov and Ehlers and Aho and Jarvis and Stankoven and I guess Jackson Blake. You know,
Even their like bottom six is filled with names that like your comments about the Capitals, I think apply to the Hurricanes forward core as well. Because you look at their bottom six, you're like, I recognize these guys. Taylor Hall in the fourth line,
Stahl. I mean, yeah, I do.
Stahl,
I do
Kotkaniemi,
recognize that.
fourth line center.
I do think that their depth is actually a little weak though on forward. Like I
Okay.
recognize their third line, but I don't recognize it as like a third line that I don't want to play against. Like I don't want to play against Carolina because they're really good, but like Carrier, Stahl, Martinuk is like not like there's not a lot of like talent there. You know what I'm saying? There's not.
No, but that's not. I don't think that's really the point, though, of
No,
that
and
third
that's not
line.
their system, but that's why they will win a
Yeah.
lot of regular season games, but they won't win in the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, I
Yeah.
know this is not a playoff. Okay, I know I said that, and that was my
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like just because we already know, right? Oh, my camera turned off. Give me just
That's
a
right.
second. Because
It's something you said the other night. I'll make this quick, but it's something you said the other night, Chris, when we were talking about this beforehand. You were like, we were talking about teams in the West, but you were talking about two certain teams, and you're like, one of them is just like a really good, and the other one is like magical. And the Hurricanes are not magical to me.
no man,
They're just really structured. They're really good. They'll make the playoffs. They might even win, or they'll probably win a round. But they're not a magic team. They're not gonna. They don't have it.
you can't win a cup just by being really good at hockey. I
Yeah.
truly believe that. In order to win the cup, you have to have some fairy dust. Like that's why the Panthers won back to back with like Conn Smythe from Sam Bennett and like just being mean. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're good, but like they're weird. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that that's like a necessary quality, and I just think I
And
don't like the Hurricanes.
in a way, the Oilers making the finals back-to-back years is due to their magic.
Total magic. Stuart Skinner. I mean, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Total magic. And I think that the Hurricanes, I don't like them at all. I love their players on any other team.
At jerseys too.
I don't like their jerseys. Yeah. I don't like their jerseys. You like them?
Did you see their new jersey?
No, I said they're bad.
I
They're
don't like
really
their
bad.
jersey.
No, I don't like it either.
It's really bad.
Too many
Like most
red
people don't
teams
like
Throw
in
it up on the
Metro.
screen. Throw it up.
Yeah, but maybe we'll edit it in. Um, yeah, dude. Like, why are we need that many red teams in the Metro? By the way, as well, a hurricane can be any color. Why are they red? There's no reason for a hurricane to be red. You have any option. Red is not really associated with wind, so I don't know why that's necessary. Usually, wind is like blue or green or something lighter or white. Um, yeah, just totally second everything. I really don't like Hurricanes. I will not be tuning into Hurricanes games, unless it's against the Rangers and maybe the Sharks. Um, and that's it, man. That's it. I mean, they're gonna win, but also like the way that the team and the fan base try to meme everyone memes about their team, but like they're not memeable. They're not that funny. Brindamore robbed the bod. It's not cute. He's like
They're right.
genuinely annoying. They're not like this, like, oh, they keep picking the best player in the third round. It's just annoying. It's a waste of talent, and it's a waste of an era.
And to your point about the best player in the third round, they've been doing that best player in the third round thing for 8 straight years. How many of them have actually made the team besides Jackson Blake?
I think 0 outside of him.
So
Actually, Aho,
everyone,
wasn't
like,
Sebastian Aho a
loves-
third round pick?
He was a second round.
He was a second rounder,
Second
but
round
he was
pick?
projected
Okay.
to go in the first round a lot back in the day. So I can't really call him super savvy steal in the low rounds.
Yeah.
So I just think that they just get overrated in terms of drafting, and they just sign guys like Burns and things like that.
Yeah. Also, just lastly, touch on the defense. Alexander Nikishin is probably going to do pretty well. I don't think he's got like the raw tools of like a lot of these super elite prospects like Parekh and like Dickinson and Schaefer and stuff. But their defense is solid. I think Keandre Miller will be better there than he was in the Rangers. Okay. Everyone, get your picks ready and say from first, or I guess count from 8th up, your rankings for the Metro, and then we'll sign off. Jared, we started with you, so give me your rankings 8-1 in the Metropolitan Division.
I have the Penguins in the basement, and then the Islanders, the Flyers, the Blue Jackets, the Capitals in the first wild card, then the Rangers, and then the Devils, and then the Hurricanes.
Johnny.
There's that core bottom three, right? From memory, I have Islanders number 8, lowest of the low. For good reason, though. I think it will benefit them long term. Then there's the Penguins. Just get over them. Then we have Philadelphia. And then we have our friends Columbus. And we have number 4, we have the Rangers, who make the playoffs in the second wild card spot. We have the New Jersey Devils at 3. My Washington Capitals at number 2. And then we have the Carolina Hurricanes. We easily win the division, by the way. 10-plus points on the Capitals.
I agree.
Facts. Islanders know what they're doing. They're selling. They're going to suck. It's going to be awesome. I think this is the first time everyone will be happy with the Islanders. Both Islanders fans and Islanders non-fans. We will celebrate this time. Philadelphia will struggle. Pittsburgh then at 6th will struggle. Columbus Blue Jackets will valiantly miss the playoffs at 5. The Devils at 4. The Rangers at 3. Not looking like a good pick given their season opener. Washington at 2. Carolina, I agree, clearing. But I actually think Washington will be closer to Carolina than New York will be to Washington. I think New York and New Jersey will be this close. And that's it.
Okay.
Which wild card are the Devils in?
I would say the first wild card. I think they're going to be very close to the Rangers. I think it's going to be like a last 3 games of the season type call. And I just think it's going to be like a Shesterkin like thing and a Panarin thing, you know.
A Hughes thing?
A Hughes thing like they sit him because they're nervous type thing. And then they lose those games. Final remarks, anybody, about the Metro?
Penguins trade Carlson to the West.
I think Carlson goes to Detroit. I think that would be a very fitting move for him.
All right. I think
That'll probably be the biggest trade of the Metro, too, in my prediction. I don't think there's any large, significant movements outside of Carlson moving out of the Metro. I can't really think of another star.
You're forgetting about JGP.
Yes. I think wherever Carlson goes, he will return less than JG Pageau. I think
John Gabriel
will get the
Pageau.
most return of any Metropolitan team.
I would say JG goes out to Vegas. He seems like a very Vegas pickup, and then does very
He is
well
a
in the
Vegas
playoffs for
guy.
no reason.
He is a Vegas guy, yeah.
I think it's going to be like the Wild. I think they're going to trade like Liam Ogren.
That would be an amazing trade for you, Jared.
Well, yeah, but that's somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to hand. People want Matthew Darsh to keep his job for a long time, so they're going to help him out.
Yep. Old boys. All right. Those are our bad hockey takes for the day.